welcome to the Lumbaone podcast, a perfectly imperfect podcast focused on progress towards living a fulfilling life. We are your hosts. My name is Michael Lum.
I'm Eric Lum.
I'm Judy Lay.
And today we are very excited because we have a very special guest joining us today. She's a great friend who we're lucky to meet kind of in the beginning of our acting careers. And she's a celebrity acting coach, director. She's a working actor and producer. She basically does it all. One of the best acting coaches we've had the privilege of working with. And she's worked with celebrities like Megan Good, Macy Gray, and Snoop Dogg, just to name a few. She's a mother and a woman of faith. And you can tell that she lives and breathes gratitude. And we're so honored to be able to call you our friend and to be considered family. Please welcome Carnetta Jones.
Yay!
Thank you. Thank you, Eric and Judy. And nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. My name is Michael Lum.
Michael.
My brother.
Yes. It's your brother?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
He's also
Thank you for the introduction.
An optometrist.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Optometrist?
Yeah.
Sounds like a
Yes.
plan. I need new glasses.
I'm here working in Chinatown, so whenever you need some new glasses, come down. I'll be
Seriously?
happy to. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
we'll have to talk later.
Okay, sounds good.
But we're in Vegas, so you gotta drive down here to Vegas.
That's her way to. That's our way to get her here.
Yeah. Seriously, I think I'm going to be coming out to Vegas. I think I have something going on there. I just don't remember. I don't go there often, but
Ooh.
whenever Miss Cam Flowers invites me, I always come out.
Awesome.
But I think, I don't know, somewhere in the back of my mind, I feel like I have to, you guys deserve a trip. I need to come out and visit.
Wait.
Yeah, so yeah, definitely.
Sounds
Carnetta,
good.
do you also know Lisa Fa? Lisa Fa?
No, she doesn't sound familiar.
No? Okay. Because that's our singing coach, and her birthday's next month, so I was wondering if you knew her, too. Because she's a friend of Miss Kim's, too. So, yeah.
Oh, she's having a big birthday party or something?
60th, yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, well,
yeah.
I can finagle my way into it. I can crash very easily.
we can give you all the details.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was like,
That's coming up. Yeah. I just saw Miss Kim at there was a Super Bowl commercial that I was just in, and she looks good. Like I
Doesn't she?
didn't recognize her. I was like, Miss Kim? She looked amazing. Like she lost a lot of weight. She looks amazing.
yeah, she looks beautiful. I saw her a couple of nights ago
Yeah.
for a premiere of one of the footage films
Yeah.
that Eric was a part of.
Yeah.
That particular film that Robin, I heard, is crazy, like bananas, like so suspenseful, on your edge of the
Oh my
seat
God.
kind of a film. It's
Yeah.
like super, super cool.
Oh.
It's going to be number one on
Oh my
Tubi.
God.
Yeah. So Eric,
Okay.
I gotta get you into Judy.
Okay.
Eric, he nailed it. Well, I tried to, but you were working.
I know. I was working. I was on a feature film, and he was a part of it too. It was a lot of fun, but long days. Yeah.
Wow. Oh, so you were working.
I was when you called me, I was on set too. I was doing the script supervising for that one.
Your
But
script team.
they know what they're doing. This group,
Yeah.
they know what they're doing. Yeah.
Yes, that's a very difficult job.
It wasn't too
Scripting.
bad. It wasn't too bad.
Well, it's very detailed.
Yeah.
The guy, Chris Stokes, who did the movie that Eric's in called Robin,
Yeah.
his scripts, he looks for continuity,
Yes.
especially
That too.
when you turn it around. You got to make sure what side you're on so that it'll match when
Yeah.
you're doing the editing.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
then circling all the right ones that he
Exactly.
wants to, just how to, like, the notation is real important. I've done scriptsy work before, but it was very, like, I was just circling things. If they were to ask me, like, continuity in terms of if you flip the angle and do the other side,
Yeah.
which side would you, I wouldn't even know what to say because I haven't understood how that I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Well, it was my first time, and they were really accommodating with that. They were like, "We're trying to make it so it's not a freaking nightmare for you," and I was like, "Thank you." But it was a lot of fun. Yeah, I had to do continuity and write a lot of notes, especially for post production, which I totally get now. Like, it helped us understand a lot of stuff that goes into production.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it was really fun.
Yeah, that's cool. Oh, so you guys were both on set.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. We just
Yeah.
finished. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just running around doing PA work and
But
stuff.
it's still.
And then they threw
work.
me in the film in a few different places.
He had
Oh,
three
really?
little roles in it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's fun. I got to play the Grim Reaper.
He did.
Oh, scary.
Yeah.
Did you have one of those?
Oh,
whatever
yeah.
they call-
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, you had to,
Oh, yeah.
what do you
The whole-
call
the
those
whole getup.
things?
Like a scythe or a
The
skith or
scythe,
something,
yeah.
whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
Scythe?
Yeah.
Scythe? Skith? I don't know.
A scythe.
Skiff, sky,
Like it's like a scythe or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something like that.
something like that. Yeah, I've seen the word before. I'd never heard it pronounced though.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he looked really creepy.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. You had to play the part.
Yeah, I'll send you pictures.
I don't know if I want any pictures of that.
No, they're cool. No.
I know what cool is.
Oh, man.
No. My honey, I've been busy nonstop from 10 o'clock on, well, until we finish this.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
But I started out this morning doing a competition. It was a talent competition for about 60 people were on the line. We had about 30
Wow.
contestants, and we had about 30 talent managers, casting directors from all over, LA.
That's
And
awesome.
yeah, it was really nice. And the people were from all over, international, Canada, different parts of Canada, East Coast, West Coast talent.
Wow.
It was pretty amazing.
Where are
Pretty
you based
cool.
out of right now? Where are you?
I'm from Los Angeles,
Los
and so I'm always based in Los Angeles. I'm originally from Northern California.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
okay.
nice. You went from
I like
to south.
north, up north or Northern California.
Nice,
Oh.
nice.
So
Yeah.
what is that competition? Maybe we want to get involved in the future.
Yeah, I'll have to give you more information on it.
Mm.
It's called NPT. Let me look. And it's run by this amazing woman called Diana Horner. Yeah, Horner. Diana Horner. I just met her through a friend who invited me to be on it. Yeah, Diana Horner. It's called National Performers Academy.
Okay.
And you can find them on Facebook, YouTube, IG.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, it was pretty nice. It wasn't that intense, really. What I was impressed with the talent, but what I was more so impressed with was the amount of agencies that showed up. And quite a few of them had said that they had actually found their talent who are like famous people. Brittany Snow's mom was one of the talent agencies on it.
Oh wow.
Do you know who Brittany Snow is? She's a huge actress.
Brittany Snow?
Brittany Snow. Yeah, look her up.
What was she in?
So much. Look her up. You'll be like, oh, I know who she is.
I'm sure she'll be familiar when I look her up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome.
I don't want to spoil it for you.
So we have a whole gang of questions that we all came up with.
Really?
Just to have some content to ask you based on. But we don't want to make
just
it
to
a
pick
whole,
your brain,
just to pick your brain.
Okay. I'm down.
I think I'll start with the. So, if someone was to make a movie about you, what would the movie be about?
That's a great question. It's funny because whenever I would teach class, in-person classes, they would always want to do Carnetta. And they will sit there. I guess I have idiosyncrasies or habits that people like to imitate. So they would imitate me. So it would be a film about just imitating Carnetta's teaching styles or whatever I might say often. I think that would be a movie like just on my habits, teaching styles, how I sound, what I do. It's just funny. It'd be total comedy.
We love that.
I can see that.
We love comedy too. We love to laugh.
Yeah.
It's all about that.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's funny because whenever I like finish like the last day of class, I'm like, all right, who wants to do me? Right? Who wants to and there'll be so many people running up doing this. And I would be rolling. So it's a special moment for me to see that I actually have habits or quirks about myself that people pick up on and they want to imitate.
That's so
funny. I think that's definitely a trademark of an amazing acting coach and teacher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is so
You think
awesome.
so? I don't know. I was just being
No, I love it.
Honestly, like our experience with you was probably one of our favorite experiences
truly
in our career so far, as far as coaching wise. And one of the most impactful and gave us such a great foundation to what acting is,
I remember we were like crying and laughing, and I was like, what were we crying about?
No idea.
We had a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was a blast. Like, we did not know what to expect at all. We're like, what are we gonna do today? Freaking cry. And then laugh.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
And I know you guys had said, Eric and Judy, it was the first time that you guys had actually really decided to pursue acting.
Yeah.
And take it seriously. And this was like, I guess, your first like weekend of just intense acting workshop.
Yeah.
And I was surprised because your instruments were just so willing and vulnerable.
I appreciate it. Yeah.
That's what impressed me with the whole group. That whole group that you guys were with were very ready, pliable, just willing and ready and open to the experience, which always gives a teacher the freedom to explore and to teach and train you. Because if your instrument is not ready or
that's true,
opened,
then,
it's a little block for the teacher. I can't go as far as you want me to,
right?
Yeah,
that's true.
To explore.
It would be so much. It would have turned out so differently had everybody been like more closed off, or the walls weren't coming down as quickly.
I think everything kind of happens for a reason. Like it just so happened to be in the right time in our life for us to kind of be open. I mean, only a few years ago, it wouldn't have been the same.
Totally. Totally. Right.
Yeah.
That's so true.
Well, let's just say it's been how many years now?
Well, we met you in May 2021. So, yeah.
Was it already? It seemed like it was longer than that.
I remember.
So it's been about 4 years?
Yeah, because I looked up the Instagram picture, because I had a picture with you, and there was Farbad, Tisa, Eric, you, and Natalie on the picture. And I was like, okay, I gotta look this up. And it said May 3rd, 2021. I was like, was it that long ago? It didn't seem like that long ago.
Yeah.
Actually, it seemed longer to me. I thought I'd known you guys at least 6 years.
I know. Yeah.
But it's only been 3 years.
Yeah.
Honestly, I feel like this industry does that to you because, like you said, the vulnerability comes out, and then you're more open to really, be able to be yourself around people because you're in this industry. So, yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's crazy.
Yeah, from being outside of the acting world, looking in,
He has like
what
FOMO.
is what is the essence of acting if you were to break it down into the simplest terms?
The essence of acting?
Mm-hmm.
The essence of acting for me, because I can use myself as an example. Since the time I was a child, I had a desire to act, and that came from watching television and being inspired by someone. And so I think the essence of acting is it starts with a deep desire, a motivation that's drawing you to a talent that needs to be used and exercised. So it starts with the essence of just the desire, the deep desire to do what you feel like you would love to do.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love that.
I like that answer.
And there's a follow-up question. So for the person like me with no acting experience, what is the most important attribute that a person must possess or need to learn in order to become a good actor? Can everybody become an actor, or is it?
Yes, everyone can become an actor. It's like everyone can become a singer. But I think that the missing element is like the essence. You have to be so deeply desiring it that you will go through every obstacle and every requirement. You will go above and beyond because you're driven and you're drawn to it. And there's no limitation because you want to do it. And then you will take the classes, you'll improve yourself because whatever you desire to do, you know that you have to learn it. You have the desire, but then with the desire, it comes the willingness to train or to get the education and to pursue it, well, create the community that you need to be a part of, um, and just begin to build on that, build out. Like I said, I had the desire to do it, so I began to seek it out. My father was an actor,
Mm-hmm.
so I found a platform to express my talent or to even discover if I truly had the talent was through my dad. He would do plays. I would go tag along with him. Decided that I love the environment. I love the community. I love the backstage, life of being on stage and being behind stage and learning script and learning the director and seeing what he desired and learning the community, the how to do the ensemble, and how to just live and interact with one another. And I decided that through experience and watching and seeing the ups and downs of it that I can handle that I still loved it even when it was difficult, even when you had to memorize and long rehearsal process. But it was so rewarding to be able to be on stage, the performance and getting the applause
Yeah.
and getting the compliments and taking the pictures. So I just continued because that was a community, that was a space that I appreciated and thrived in.
Yeah.
Mm.
So it's just, it comes the essence, which I believe is desire. With that deep desire, everything builds out and you find longevity, you find community, you find satisfaction, you find money,
Mm-hmm.
wealth. Everything becomes your life. It's my life.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Totally. Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, you
That's
found
awesome.
that in I mean, Michael plays basketball and he's a dancer. He can dance too. He can dance better than us. So like I think you kind of found it.
Oh, can
You
you,
kind of found it in
what,
that,
can you
didn't
pop
you?
lock?
A little bit, a little
Drop,
bit.
pop, drop, pop, and lock it.
Yeah. Well,
I
I'm
mean,
sorry.
yeah.
What were you going to say?
No, but like it's kind of like what you're saying, Carnetta. Like it's like the essence of like practicing and like training for all those things. Even if you don't want to, it's like that like urge to get better and like not fall behind or whatever it is, whatever it may be. Like even our coaches, they're like, you just gotta keep doing it. It is like a sport, you know.
Yeah, it's a muscle. You have to continue
Yeah.
to work it. Whatever you don't work, you lose, you know. Um, Practice is important.
Mm-hmm. It's the same
Yeah,
thing.
and it with anything, you get kind of lazy, you kind of get sometimes a little depressed, and you want to give up, and you just want to throw everything out, and just say, "Is it worth it? You know, God, did
Yeah.
I really hear you?"
Every week.
For me, it's always been I'm afraid to give up.
Yeah.
I'm afraid that if I stop, that I won't get another opportunity, which is kind of weird. But for me, I won't quit because I'm afraid that if I quit, I won't get an opportunity. If I don't stay
That's
in
true.
it, that I'll miss out.
That's true. Yeah.
Whereas I have friends who say, like, I really thought about quitting,
Yeah.
and I quit for like you quit, and they come back. For me, I can't. I don't know why I can't do it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good.
Yeah, in my mind, it's like the first 34 years of our life. I didn't know what I I, I I had an idea of what I would like to do, but I didn't know what I was going to do with my life, and I kind of just moseyed around trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life. And it wasn't until we started doing this that
Yeah.
we actually felt like we're actually getting to live the life we want.
Yeah.
And if we quit, what are we gonna do? Go back to moping around
We-
trying to figure life out.
we found this we found the school like via Groupon, and we're like, okay, let's try it. And then we've been there ever since, like at Dream Tracks with Frank, and that's how we met Miss Kim. That's how we met you, like. And we got lucky,
Yeah.
like, because we could have gone to like other schools that didn't
Sure.
really care as much for you. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
we got lucky.
We got very lucky.
Absolutely. And it is being in an acting school with like-minded people, and it's you're creating a home environment,
Yeah.
and you're creating friends that will like lasting lifetime friends.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, it really makes a difference when you do find community that quickly, and you feel like, okay, I'm growing, I'm learning, I'm happy, um, I'm expanding. It's so important. I've had so many experiences at different classes where I could say, um, I know the good ones and the bad ones, and I know if I'm going to stay or not because I know why I'm there. For
Yeah.
example,
Yeah.
I was in a school where the teacher was very abusive verbally. I got out. But I know people who'll stay. Now they'll stay. I'm like, why? Why do you stay? And their reasons is because it's a safety place. It's a comfort zone for them. They're used to that kind of environment where abusive conversation was a part of their upbringing, and so it's a comfort zone for them, but it's also a trap because they believe that the teacher that's being abusive knows what's best for them. And when the teacher says to them, like, you know, you won't get any better unless if you leave this place, you won't get any better. And it's like this cycle of pain and suffering, and they can't get out of it. And there's classes like that.
Yeah.
And they're called professional students. They're afraid to go beyond their boundaries because they feel like their teacher, is someone that is telling them the truth or whatever, what's in their mindset. And I've gotten out of those environments.
Yeah.
I don't waste my time. Some people can't get out of them. But I my advice, if you see that, run! Because you'll find yourself never growing.
Right.
Because it's a mental thing now. You don't feel like you're good enough you've been years to what you want. You have to see the vision for yourself. You got.
Sorry, we're having technical difficulties. Pop, lock.
What do I do with my hand?
Yeah. So you just got to really be careful about which acting classes you choose, what studios you go to.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and you just got to know why you want to go to a class. Because if you want to go to make friends, that's cool too. But in the ultimate for me is to learn. And then if of course you want to be friendly to everyone, but you want to learn, you want to know what you want to get out of it. And once you get something from it, whatever that is, you get out.
Yeah.
And you don't, you can stay for like 3 or 4 years if it's a program that way, sure. But just got to know why you're there. And it's not for validation. I don't go for validation. I go for learning and training. And my validation comes from when I book a job.
Yeah.
But when you're in the environment, you have to, you don't want to glorify the teacher to the point where you're always asking and needing that validation. Because if you don't get it, it's going to crush you, and it's going to somehow hinder you from moving forward, going to the next level. So I think it's key that you don't look for personal validation.
That's a big one.
Yeah. You got to find it within yourself.
Yeah, or from your support group, like, your family. Because sometimes you give the teacher too much power over you and your gift, where it could be debilitating. Yeah, so you have to be very careful. You go for a reason, not for validation, because in this world of industry that we're in, this entertainment industry that we're in, acting specifically, it's a lot of no's. And if you attach your validation to the no's, it's going to crush you.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's you bring your gift, you bring your choices, be proud of your choices. It's a collaboration. You bring what you have, make everybody look good, even yourself look good, right? And then you move on, because there's so many variables that comes into the yes, if you're going to get it.
Yeah.
There's political, there's physical reasons, there's personal reasons, there's stupid reasons. So you just gotta go for what make your choices, win the room. Know that if they bring you back into the room, it's because they can depend on your expertise. That they know that when you come into the room, you're gonna make them look good because you're always prepared. You always create characters that are truthful and wonderful. Things that you want people to remember you for.
Yeah.
Things that you want people to say, hey, she's a good actress. I can depend on her. I can bring her in. Like with you, Eric, I knew you were going to be good.
Thank you.
Because I knew your worth ethics, I know that you're going to take the time out to do what's necessary for the part,
Mm-hmm.
to create a character that's viable and truthful,
Mm-hmm.
and real.
I appreciate that.
So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. See?
That brings me to my next question, like relating to like staying motivated and like sometimes it's difficult. Like some days are more difficult than others. And also, like, do you have like a morning ritual that you've stuck by, or like a routine that you do?
No, I don't have a routine, but I do have a I guess it's like my motivational declaration
Mm,
that I'm very mindful of.
mm,
And it's basically, it's not even a declaration. It's just a mindset.
yeah.
I feel that, and this was what someone had told me many years ago. I had children, and I put my career to the back burner because I wanted to raise my kids first. I felt
Yeah.
like it was my responsibility. If I'm bringing kids into the world, I have to make sure that they're successful in the world, that they're, able to be contributors in this world in a positive way. And so I had to make sure that they had a good education, a stable home environment. And I had a strong self-esteem. I had to build them up and spiritually prepare them for this world, right? So they can succeed and they can pursue their dreams. And so I put my career on the back burner. And I remember a friend of mine, he said to me, he says, Carnetta, as long as you're doing something every day toward your art,
Yeah.
you are working on your art. You are always doing something.
Mm,
He said, even if it's just reading a magazine, a trade magazine, even if it's watching a movie, even if it's just reading, even if it's just a conversation, you're always contributing to your art. You're always doing something positive toward your goals. Wow. It gave me such freedom. You don't even know.
yeah. Nice.
It made me feel wonderful because I was doing something every day, even if it's just a conversation about it or a book that I was reading. It didn't have to be like behind the scenes every day,
Yeah.
or in front of the camera every day. It's so encompassing. The art world is so encompassing. You could be a doctor and still want to be an actor. And while you're being a doctor, you can talk to someone, one of your patients about it, or you could bring what your skill of a doctor into the acting world by being a doctor on set.
Yeah, like
So
Ken Jeong. He's a real doctor.
he's a real, you're Mike, right?
Yeah, and that the actor in The Hangover, Ken Jeong. he
Oh,
he
yeah.
was a doctor, and then he's an
Yeah.
actor now, and he's also
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that about him.
Yeah.
That's pretty exciting. No, I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
But I know people who are super, super brainy, supposedly, right? Brainy, who
Right.
went to college and then like now they're an actor. Like the gentleman, he went to MIT and he's a famous actor. I can see his face, but I can't think of his name.
MIT.
He was in the movie The Fugitive.
The Fugitive.
He starred in the
Harrison
movie
Ford?
The Fugitive.
Harrison
Huh?
Ford? Harrison Ford?
Not Harrison Ford. The guy that pursued him. Who was the detective?
Tommy Lee Jones?
Tommy Lee Jones. Yep, he went to MIT.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Oh, there's a lot of smart people.
I know Natalie Portman went to Harvard, I believe.
She went to Harvard.
Yeah, and then you have the Yale people.
Yeah.
Got a lot of Yale people, a lot of people from Juilliard, but that's an art school. When you say Yale, though, Yale is not. It's more of an Ivy League. Juilliard is top too.
Yeah, it is.
There's a lot of, yeah, definitely. And I went to college too. I mean, I studied, got my master's in it, and then I got my PhD in it. So
Wow.
yeah, education is very important to me. I'm really huge on it. You know, just studying, training.
Yep.
That kind of brings up a question that I don't really ask it anymore, but I think it's
gonna ask it now.
something to put out there, because I'm sure other people question it. Like, do you have to go to like Yale or Juilliard or some big name school for acting to make it in the industry, or to be an A-lister or whatever?
I think it's definitely a plus. You don't have to do anything, right? But if I were to choose, I would definitely have gone to Yale. I went to UCLA. I didn't go to Yale. I did consider it for sure because of, I had children and I couldn't go into another state and like, okay, honey, take care of the babies. I'll be back when I finish,
Yeah.
Look at me like I'm crazy. But I definitely would say if you have an opportunity, I would apply to Yale. It's very competitive, but I know people who do. I also know people who are at the Royal Academy Conservatory, the Royal Academy or the Royal Conservatory that's out in London, and they're studying there. If you can study with like-minded people who are, it's a little bit competitive, but it gives you a well-rounded education, because you'll learn not only acting acting for theater, but also you'll learn theater history, which I love. It's wonderful. And it's so literature based that you will have to read. You'll have to write papers.
Right.
And I think it's important to learn how to do those things, because it just opens up other avenues of this industry.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, and you're right. They have all the A-listing agencies, all A-listers agencies. They have scouts at the colleges.
Oh yeah.
At Yale and at Juilliard, and they're scouting people. And as soon as you finish, they're like, "All right, come on down."
Yeah.
Sure. I'm not mad at them. That's important. It's just like the sports. Like we were saying, it was parallel to a sports. They do that too. They have scouts.
Right.
That's true.
Yeah. And going back to the whole having children thing. So we're thinking of trying to have a baby soon, and I don't know, is that gonna put a wrench in our careers, or you think it's possible to still go after our dreams and start a family?
Absolutely, you can do it all now, and people are doing it all. Sure. It's a part of that dimension that you need. Before, back in the day, in the 50s, 60s, 70s, only the wealthy could have a nanny, come on set. They didn't even allow babies to be on set. I think that Lucille Ball had her baby on set. If they were wealthy, they could do that. And so, now it's important for the family to be with their mom or dad when they're away as actors. And everyone's very comfortable with that. And everyone encourages that, because they know they're going to get their best work. And they know that they're not going to break up a family. Nobody wants to break up a family. I mean, physically, people get divorced sometimes because they're so far, away. So it doesn't have to be one or the other. It could be, there's a compromise there. You can definitely do both. Yeah. I have friends right now that are doing it. Like both parents are actors. They just had a baby. They kind of just, have the baby come. It's a discussion. It's more as a discussion that the husband and wife have than the studio people have. They're like, we want you. However we're going to get you. We're fine with it. So it's more of a conversation that you and Judy would have. For sure, go for it. Kids are wonderful.
Okay.
And it adds another dimension to you too. Like that motherhood makes it more, you're vulnerable even more so.
Yeah, true.
You're compassionate even more so. You're empathetic even more so.
Yeah, totally.
How many children do you have?
I have 3 and 3 grandchildren.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
That's nice. Beautiful.
I'm a happy camper.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
I love it.
So cool.
Yeah, so I encourage you guys to, dude, you don't have to stop living. You don't at all. And people who do, like, oh my gosh, now they're having test tube babies, and now they're having surrogate mothers because they didn't get a chance to do it when they, because they said, I had to focus on my career and then do it all. Do it all. You guys are lucky that you're married now too. A lot of people are like, oh, I wish I had gotten married when I was younger.
Oh, you can get married any age now.
Yeah.
Well, you can get married at any age now for sure, but it's harder.
Yeah.
It's harder to find the love.
Yeah. It helps that we're in the same industry. We don't have to explain. It helps that we're in the same industry. We don't have to explain a lot of stuff to each other. We already know.
What do you mean? Oh, like, your husband and you? Yeah, right.
We're in the same industry, so we don't have to repeat ourselves every day.
Right.
We're going through the same process, so it's really unique and rewarding at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, people say that you should marry the same person. You should marry a person that's in the same industry as you are.
Yeah.
But I don't know where they got that from.
Yeah.
I really don't. I never sourced that out to see, because to me it's just bogus. Like, why not?
Yeah.
I guess sometimes it's just because the competition element of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I know people, say like, well, he's working, I'm not working, and they can feel. But to me, it's like the same kind of a deal where if you're making more money than your husband.
Oh, he doesn't care. A win is a win.
Yeah.
We both
win.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's how I feel too. Like, come on, it goes all into the same pot.
Yeah, he's like, you could be my sugar mama.
Yeah. I'll sit at home and relax. I don't care.
He's like,
thank you.
Yeah, I agree. I'm 100% there. Like, I want to make so much money so my husband can, retire, and I can take care of him because he's been such a wonderful provider.
Yeah. 100%. That's the best.
Yeah. That's the best. It's just sharing and taking care of one another and supporting one another, supporting one another's dreams. What else is life about? I mean, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to help.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Nevada is a community state property anyway.
Yeah, so what's yours is mine.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, here in California, it's like, God, they'll take everything.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you can move.
It's the worst. They have the worst marital laws here. I mean, it's in favor of the women.
Oh.
But anyways, okay. We're straying a little bit.
Yeah. So going back to acting, how has the industry changed since you started? Like, what was it like when you started, and how has it changed, and where do you see it going from here, especially with all the
I love
AI?
it. Oh gosh. Where do I see it going from here? Let's just start out. I became a union member in 1979. It was my first acting job. I got booked 2 commercials at the same time. It was amazing. My first acting job I went out on, professional acting job I went out on, I booked 2 commercials.
Wow.
So that was pretty impressive. And it cost me $800 to join the union.
Dang.
So that's a big difference already. Because I think it costs like $6,000 to join now.
Yeah, like
How much does
I
it
think
cost to join?
3,000, right?
We heard 3,000
3,000
something.
Oh, is it 3,500?
Yeah.
Why
Something
did
like
I
that.
double it?
It's
Pretty
going
much
there
gonna
eventually.
double. Pretty much.
I hope I'm not. Yeah. That's where I see the future going. $6,000.
Yes.
So yeah, the union membership dues are it's doubled, tripled.
Yeah.
Yeah. This tripled at least. No, actually it's quadrupled, right?
Quadruple, yeah.
Because 8 times 4 is 32.
Yeah.
So it's quadrupled since 79. Well, we always had in-person auditions, and so that's changed just because of COVID. But it wasn't as many actors. It was easier to book a job. Yeah, it was much easier to book a job then. I see the future. Gosh, it's hybrid. Just the hybrid of it all. Virtual and in person. I see more bookings from self tapes than actual in person tapes. And I see that happening even more so. Because I'm also a manager, and a lot of my clients are booking off of self tapes. You know, self tapes, except if it's like a bigger gig, like a series regular, then you'd still do virtual, but then the callbacks and the chemistry reads will be in person. I see actors becoming even more multi-hyphenated. Multi-hyphenated individuals are much more desirable than just a person who's just acting. It's more desirable because they can make money from more streams.
So you mean someone that does a lot of different things, like different careers?
Actors like sing, actors who are singers, actors who are writers, directors, multi-hyphenated artists are more desirable. They're looking for talent like that. Talent agencies are. Because they can make money from different streams.
True.
And I just see that even more so. I also see where this industry is becoming tighter and tighter. If you don't get in right now, the door is going to close because it's getting too big. Little kids will always have an opportunity because kids are so cute. But if you don't get in by the time you're 21, it's going to get harder.
Yeah.
Just because it's just inundated with great talent, and they have to figure out a way to make room for more. So, you know, if you have a cute little kid, get her in soon.
We'll have one soon.
If that's what they want.
So that I guess that kind of brings me to the next question is like, if we really wanted to break in, we're still working to try to break in, and like, how does a new actor or someone who's acting in trying to break in, how do we get in, you know?
Well, definitely through relationships, and then you create your own content. It's a question where there's no right or wrong to it. It's just whatever avenue that you could find a way, you know, to get in. Because once you're in your union, it doesn't guarantee that you're going to be a superstar.
No, it doesn't.
So I think that for me, I just love what I do. And if fame comes with it, that's great. fortune I'm going to have no matter what, because I'm a hard worker and I know how to, hustle. I have so many side hustles, going. So it depends what you want. If you want fame and fortune, or if you just want fortune, and then fame comes with it, it's great. I want, I want just to leave a great legacy of, I love what I do. I want to change people's lives, not only in front of the camera, but the people that I am around in the community. I want to help them to do what they feel like God has called them to do. And if I can be a part of it, then I will. Those are the types of nuggets that I want to leave behind, important things like that. And fame, I don't know. I mean, I'm working, I'm really happy with that. And yeah, I want to get bigger parts and everything. But I've done big parts before. Like I've led a movie, like I've had I've had opportunities. I've done television series that have not been picked up yet. You know what I'm saying? But I've experienced that, where I have people that are out there creating their own content. And it's a blessing to be a part of that. For me, like I said, I'm never going to stop, because if you stop, that's when, for me, I think that's where the brook, the water, the flow stops. It's like it gets dammed up because I'm not in it. It's like, I'm believing God for things. And once I stop praying, then I stop God's hand. But once I continue to pray and believe and stay in it in some capacity, either helping someone that's in it, or writing or singing or directing, or actually performing or casting, or teaching or coaching, all those things, that keeps me in the flow. It keeps me actively believing God, like, Lord, may not be today, but I'm going to stay with it until I see what I've been praying for. And if I stop, I won't see what I'm praying for.
Totally. Yeah. That's true.
Yeah. We all got to do our part.
Yeah.
And that part, I know people like, I was believing God, for this and that. And then it didn't come. And okay, maybe it wasn't God's timing yet. I don't think he had it for me. So I stopped. I'm like, okay, well, you'll never know, will you? Because you stopped.
Yeah.
You'll never know.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to do this until Jesus calls me home. Once he calls me home, then I know that totally. I'm not going to stop.
Totally. Yeah.
So is there I mean, we organically meet people like you and other people in the industry, and
Sure.
it's great. We love meeting all of the different artists and the different roles and everything. But is there like any specific way you would recommend to put ourselves out there to kind of, I guess, I don't know, meet other people in the industry? Or
yeah, definitely. There's so many wonderful organizations that you can be a part of. Of course, the first community would be in your acting classes that you're taking. You meet them, and then going to festivals are real important. Film festivals, because you meet people that way.
Yeah.
If you can get a chance, go to Sundance. If you can get a chance, go to the Cannes. I've only been to Cannes. I haven't been to Sundance yet. I've been invited. I just haven't had the chance to go. We'll go. It's pretty much an obvious thing. It's kind of like hearing what's out there. But there's this school called Next Level. It's called Next Level Acting, or no, it's called 101. Yeah, it's called 101 Next Level. And they have great mixers and acting classes and casting directors where you can meet, talent agencies where you can meet. It costs But it's worth to. I took a few classes and I thought it was pretty cool. If you want to do it, let me see. I'm trying to think what. How do I find out about events? I think I find out about events through like the trade. Like backstage. They'll let you know what's going on, and just kind of doing that.
Okay.
How can I meet Snoop Dogg? How can I meet Snoop Dogg?
Tell you about Snoop Dogg?
No, how can I meet Snoop
He's
Dogg?
amazing. How did I meet Snoop Dogg?
Yeah.
Is that your question?
No, how can I meet Snoop Dogg?
Well, how can you meet Snoop Dogg? He's
She
great,
knows. She
man.
knows.
I love him.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's all over, man.
Yeah.
But right now, he's going through a transformation.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he's not smoking anymore.
Wow.
He's like dedicated his life to Jesus. His mom was a pastor evangelist. His mother's passed away since.
Oh.
And so he's just kind of going through a transformation right now. He's doing really good. He's a family man.
Yeah.
Grandfather. I used to manage his son, Calvin, his first son.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
it's pretty cool. Yeah, no, he's just a cool dude all around. Very, very special, very sincere man. Yeah, I just wish that I can't think of any names, events off the top, other than the ones that I just said. Tried to go to all film festivals and.
Yeah, I think the feature film we're doing, they are going to submit to festivals too. So we could definitely go to those, and we can, because we were a part of the film, so it will open up, the conversations quite nicely.
Yeah, and when you go to film festivals, they always have mixers, and they always have workshops, and they have different people from the industry having conversations where they'll invite you to have, like, they'll have events where you can meet people. It's so important. And they have it because like Sundance is usually, I think 2 weekends. And so during the week, they have mixers and they have conversations with different producers, directors, artists. So, yeah. And usually film festivals have that. They have events during the day as well as in the evening.
Oh, yeah.
It's just really fun. Yeah, it's really fun.
That'd be cool.
And we should go to the ones in Cali too, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, that way we can meet Carnetta up and finally get like lunch or something.
we should go to Sundance together.
Yeah.
Let's definitely go to Sundance together. I just think that I think you have to be invited to go to Sundance. You have to have a project there. Or I mean, you can. I know people who you just got to know a project. You just have to know the project about it and then do it. I haven't done it yet, but I definitely want to go.
Yeah, it's one of the top ones.
Yeah.
Okay. Another question I just for other listeners and stuff, like, what would you say to people who are kind of going through a tough time in their life or feel stuck or, have a big dream but are too afraid to go after it because of all the limiting beliefs, don't have the time, don't have the money, what if it doesn't work out, are afraid to take the risk and, we have all these things in the back of our minds holding us back. What would you say to people who, feel they want to do something but are too scared?
Well, yeah, I think I would share that it's important to do it, even do it scared.
Yeah. Because
to look back and say, oh, I wish I coulda, shoulda, I feel if you do have to say that you're afraid, just do it fearful. Try it. And if you don't try it, then you'll say, I don't know. You got to try it. You got to try it scared. And you might like it and it might work out. And God might have, somebody there to continue to help you move along. You have to step out. You got to find even mentors. Mentors are real important. especially in this business, if you can find a mentor, you should,
Mm.
so that you can feel empowered to do it.
Mm.
I just think that I've always been very motivated. I've never been afraid to do something, or I've never been talked out of doing something.
Yeah.
Like I'll do it afraid, and I might even fail, and I'm like, oh well, I just fell, and I might feel sad and crazy and weird and mad at myself for doing, like, why did I do it? But I'm more of a doer. I like, oh, let's just try it and see what happens, more so. People who aren't like that, I don't have an advice other than just do it scared, because I do it scared all the time. And you'll learn from it. Everything's not going to be, you may not get what you want in the results sometimes, but sometimes you will get the result that you want. So
Yeah.
got to try.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you're acting, what do you do with your hands?
What I do with my head?
What do you do with your hands when you're acting? People have trouble with their hands when they're acting.
Well, first of all, what I do, because when you're training, like, Italians are very demonstrative with their hands.
Right.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when auditioning for like soap opera, they don't use your hands much, but they do, but not much. Yeah. So I would sit on my hands and just like, that's just a practice so that you could talk with your eyes, and only time where you feel like to emphasize something, to underline something, then that's when you would use your hands. But first I would sit on my hands and try and do it, but because I don't want to be a talking head, because you want to stay away from talking head. So you have to use your hands. You just don't want to overuse your hands. So you start out with sitting on your hands, not using them at all, and then going crazy, like, oh, I gotta get my hands. And then, like, because sometimes that'll happen where you just can't hold back. You'll realize that how much you do use your hands and how much you use it too much. So then you start out with no hands, and then gradually you'll figure out how you want to emphasize certain things.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
So you just sit on it.
Sit on your hands until you feel like, okay, now you realize that you have been using them too much, because it's the urge is like every other word you want to use your hands.
That's true. Yeah. And it gets distracting. That's what our coach says sometimes, like when we're practicing for something and then somebody's like too much movement or hands, you're like, it's very distracting.
You're right, because it'll pull your attention away from it. So you only want to use your hands when you want to emphasize something.
Yeah,
that's
totally.
important.
Totally. Yeah. I'm curious. What is the very first thing you do to prepare for a role, and what is the favorite role you've ever played?
I do a lot of research to prepare for a role. My favorite was, I played a deaf mute, and I won actually backstage, a backstage award for it.
Oh, nice!
It was Best Actress. It was great. I did a lot. I love research. Yeah. I love watching people. I love reading about it. I like to get the truth of the character first, and then I'll let my imagination go wild. I think that if you do it backwards, if you go to your imagination first without having truth, without having a real background, a real source, idea of the character that you're creating, it's going to come off a little bit odd, and people may not be able to identify it or to relate to it. So if you come from a truth first, then you could begin to use your imagination, because now it's based in truth. So I start with research of the character, and then I begin to put it into action. Like I'll get it in my body first, and then like I put it up on its feet. But my research, it will like, if it's psychological, usually I start with psychological research. And I'm sorry, first I start out with just educating myself based on the career. If it's a certain type of character I have to create, like, for example, for the one that I really loved, I had to play a deaf mute.
Yeah.
So first I just went and I did a lot of research on deaf mute.
Yeah.
Just figuring out, what that is. And then I went to the school and I saw a lot of deaf mute so I could get it into my body, the physicality of a deaf mute. And then after that, I figured out the family dynamic. She lived in a family with two other sisters, very domineering. So I looked into the psychological background, why she did certain things, why she reacted to certain things, because the writer was very specific as to what this character would do in the family dynamics. So I studied, then I figured out her psychological reasoning and what was constantly like she was thinking about, because it wasn't that she was dumb or anything. She was thinking, and it was kind of like cause and effect, because I watched everything. So if somebody would do something, then I would just follow. Or if I did something wrong, I knew, I was aware when they were mad at me, or, so it was like a lot of psychological things that I had to think about what caused her, what motivated her, what was her, what caused her to do things.
Right.
It was psychologically driven usually.
Right. Yeah, that truly brings out your character, like, completely. Because you know exactly how to react to, as that character.
Yeah. So that's what I usually do. And then your memorization usually comes last. Just try to really understand her. And then once I understood her, I mean, she had no lines, obviously, because she was a mute. But she was my favorite character for sure. I just loved it. Oh my gosh. Because I felt like to be in a scene where you really couldn't hear, but you did hear, you had to know all the cues and stuff, but be in the world of not hearing, but only like knowing the vibrations of it, of people's like faces and, and their movement. That's how I learned. That's all I knew.
Yeah.
But watching other deaf mute people, I learned so much from just watching them. And I just created from there.
What movie? Was it a movie or is it a TV show?
Oh gosh, it was a stage play called Back Alley Tales. It was written and directed by a famous director. He's won Tonys and he's won, I think he's won an Emmy too. And he does film. His name is George C. Wolfe. He's done a lot of Broadway plays, and he's done film too.
That's amazing.
Yeah. It was one of his first plays that he had done.
Nice.
He was a college friend of mine. And so he studied there, and we were his workshop. He created a lot of his plays in college. Got a lot of his training there, and then we were just best friends growing up, in college. And so after we graduated, I started studying at this inner city cultural center. That was the name of it, but it was a community arts center. And they gave a lot of Black and brown people opportunity, even like just not even necessarily Black and brown people, but just marginalized people opportunities to create and to put their work on stage and invite an audience and get reviewed. It was a respectable cultural center. And so that's where I did it. It
That's
was a lot of
awesome.
fun. It's my best work there since, I
Wow.
think.
That's awesome.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And that I
Alright.
love how you said that because, like, sorry,
Right.
I love how you said that because some of our coaches that we studied with, they said if you want to watch like the best acting, you watch something in silence. Like you don't have the sound on or anything, and you know it's like a great piece of art when you don't even have to hear what they're saying, but
Yeah.
they're able to the physicalities and like the emotions in the eyes, all of that, and we did, and we were like, man, that's so cool. A
You
lot of stuff
It's
I
so
watch,
cool.
yeah.
you learn a lot.
It's
Yeah.
it's amazing because we feel like the language is so important. Just the speaking,
Yeah.
the dialogue is so important, and it is. But when you compare it to people who've won
Yeah.
Academy Awards for not doing anything except just being like a mute,
Yeah.
or a person who's not able to hear,
Right.
they're winning Academy Awards. Like, why is
100%.
it?
Yeah.
Because they have to use their whole body to express it. They don't have words at
No.
all. They have to depend on their other senses
Right.
to get the point across.
Right. Yeah. It's so cool.
And it's just great. And you just like, wow, here I am in the scene with people that are actually dialoguing, that they could express themselves, like all their emotions, every single way, but I can't. I don't have that ability at all to do it because that's not my character. But I have to be able to communicate. And then I get an award for it. Pretty amazing. I
That's amazing.
remember when I went, got it. Nobody else went with me. I didn't think it was that big. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do this. I mean, I thought it was a big deal, but it was more like for me, it's like I don't
Yeah,
want
for sure. Yeah. Yeah.
whatever,
That's great.
But when I went, it was a big. I didn't realize until I was there that it was a very big idea.
So
Yeah.
what are you, besides Robin? What are you working on now? And if somebody wanted to work with you in your coaching or whatever, how do they get in contact with you?
Oh, wonderful. So first off, I just finished wrapping a Tubi original. It's actually a sequel, Rock the Boat 2. And I'm one of the co-stars. I'm support lead.
Wow.
And this particular one, the part 2, is so special because Loretta Devine is in it. She plays my mother. And it's kind of like I describe it as the Black version of I Know What You Did Last Summer. So it's a thriller and it's a murder mystery genre, and it's an ensemble piece. It has young adults, like not teenagers, they're college students. They all get together, and then one starts to disappear. You look around, another one starts to disappear. And it's like, who's killing these people? And it's really special. It's very different. I play a hypnotherapist.
I could see that.
Yeah, so it's really fun. It stars Parker McKenna Posey. She's the lead in it. And it has T.I.'s daughter, Zanique. Like I said, Loretta Devine. It has all these wonderful actors. Ayala Haley. She's really special in it. I don't want to butcher anybody else's name, so I won't say anything else. But it's a footage films, and it's a Tubi original.
Nice.
Chris Stokes directs it, wrote it.
Oh, wow.
Along with Marcus Houston. Yeah.
Chris Stokes
So
was the
it's
director.
really fun.
Awesome.
What'd you say?
Chris Stokes is the director for Robin?
Yeah, the same director of Robin. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Awesome.
Yeah, he's prolific. He has so many films that he produces.
Hmm.
Probably monthly. He has a film that he works on like every 6 weeks. He has a film coming
wow.
out.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's good.
Well, you saw, I don't know if you saw Eric, but there was a DIT there on site,
Mm.
and he's constantly getting rid of all the bad footage, and he's editing as they go.
Wow.
Wow.
That's crazy.
So on top
Yeah.
of it.
So by the time he's done, he has a rough cut.
Dang.
Then he sends it over to the editor to put it into, story. And then he has all the post people doing it,
Wow.
Sound and coloring.
Mm.
What else do they do? Sound coloring, and then they do the soundtrack,
Mm-hmm.
music.
Mm.
Yeah.
Is there something else that he has that we could watch now?
Oh yeah, go to Tubi Original.
Yeah.
And just put in footage films, and about 70 films will pop up.
What
Wow.
films?
Not that many, but it's
Footage?
I'm
Footage?
sorry.
Footage films?
Yeah, footage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, footage films.
Okay. I'm gonna look that up.
And they do all the Tubi originals. Well,
Okay.
I shouldn't say all the Tubi originals. They do Tubi originals.
Okay.
There's other production companies that do Tubi originals too.
Okay.
And they have relationships. They have production
Nice.
relationships with them.
Awesome. Excuse
Awesome.
me.
That's funny that you say hypnotherapy. I don't want to keep you too much longer, but we did want to mention some stuff about spirituality because we know you're very spiritual.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
But so we come across a book. Do you believe in like past lives and stuff like that?
No.
No? Oh, okay.
No.
So we came across.
Does that blow your question? I'll shut. So I'm sorry.
No, not at all.
Okay.
But we did come across a book called many books. I've been kind of going on a spiritual journey lately and kind of exploring.
Okay.
But we came across a book called Journey of Souls, and I don't know. You might want to listen to it, but it's actually about a hypnotherapist. Actually, there's two different hypnotherapy.
Yes.
One's a medical doctor, one's a PhD, and they've written their own books about it. And what they did was they did past or regressions therapy, where you can go back to your childhood and heal trauma or stuff like that. And and the one that wrote Journey of Souls actually did a regression where he had a patient who had pain on like the left side of his body his whole life and went to all these doctors and stuff and couldn't figure out why. So he went to the therapist and he did a regression on him, and he said, go back to the time where this pain originated. And he went back to World War I, where he was killed by a bayonet. And
Wow.
yeah, and he was able to get rid of the pain. And then
crazy.
Wow.
yeah, and then from there, he had another patient where he was able to take her back into the soul world or something like that. And the whole book is it's kind of interesting. I don't know if to accept it or believe it, or what to believe or what to accept at what of everything that's out there. But it's interesting. You should give it a listen. But it talks about a whole description of what it's like as a soul.
So, is it connected to acting, or is it just connecting to spirituality?
It's just all spirituality. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like there's this book that's connected to acting that deals with just because I'm more so like how do you give yourself over to allowing yourself to be free and be an actor and not be clogged up and feel like you're using your gift for the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Like my spirituality, because I'm a Christian. So it's like, how can I use my instrument for the Lord? How can I use it in a way where I'm freed up and I'm not afraid to step out and just and not be in my head. So right before I go on, I always pray. I'm like, okay, Lord Jesus, use me so I don't get in my way, you know, so that I could just be all that I can be for you, so I can really just excel and people just see, you know, you in me, however that looks, Lord God, you know, kind of a thing. I'm like, okay, I surrender. Then I go, and then I'm not in my head, and I can just be knowing that and trusting that God's going to work in me and through me, right? So there's this book. It's called. It's on my website. I'm going to go to my website.
Yeah, I think I saw that. You had 3 book recommendations on the bottom of your
Yeah.
website. Yeah, I do a lot of Audibles, so I tried to look it up on Audible. It didn't have it, so I'll probably get the hard copy. So the suggested readings: Truth by Susan Batson, The Mystic in the Theater,
That's
Eleonora
it.
Deuce. Oh, okay. The Mystic in the Theater.
She was very spiritual.
Yeah.
And it was just it just frees you. It's like there's no inhibition. There's no editing of yourself while you're acting, but you truly just surrender your instrument to all the impulses that it has, because you've done your work. Once you've done your work, you got to trust that it's there. Whatever's going to show up is supposed to show up.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, being a doctor after training for so long. Now you just got to trust that what you've learned will kick in. And that's pretty much with the acting. What you learned is what you put in, you'll get out. If you don't put anything in, you won't get anything out. So you do have to prepare, whatever that means.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I'll give it a read, and then we can talk about it.
So
yeah, I it's not on the website. I mean, it's not on
Audible.
Audible.
no, they don't have it on Audible. I'll just
It's
get the
okay.
physical
We'll read
copy.
Yeah, it's really small. That was one of the most important books that I think that my teacher that I loved recommended. I trained a lot with a lot of wonderful acting coaches, acting teachers.
Nice.
One being Susan Batson, incredible. She's out of New York.
Oh, wow.
She wrote the book Truth. She has a school called the Susan Batson Acting Studio in New York. Really deep work that she trains her students to just be very in touch with self and being aware of your environment, because that can also a teaching tool. Your environment is your teaching tool. The Artist Way is really good. Have you done The Artist Way yet? That's another book that you guys should get.
Okay.
I think both you guys can do that together. It's a workbook, but it's been around for years and it's still very popular, very relevant, and students are still doing that book. It's called The Artist Way.
Okay. Thank you.
But yeah, Susan Batson. I love Meisner. I went to Playhouse West. Robert Carnegie. I'm not even sure if he's alive anymore, because he was a little older when I was there. How many years ago was that? It must have been in the 2000s.
Oh.
So he still should be around. He's probably in his 70s now.
Okay. So sorry, go ahead.
Jeff Goldblum was there.
Oh, Jeff Goldblum.
Oh, wow.
It's his school.
Nice.
He was there. Robert Carnegie started it, and then Jeff Goldblum, he started just supporting it and being very active. And then he would teach there.
That's awesome.
Classes.
Wow.
It's a great school. I loved it when I went there. I went there 4 years.
Playhouse
I did the entire program.
Oh,
Oh, wow. Nice.
I met some really wonderful people that I still are friends with today.
That's awesome.
So we're kind of working on a final question that we're developing, trying to figure out what that question is going to be, that we would like to ask all of our guests. So we're just going to ask you what we've come up with so far.
Okay.
I don't know
Oh
if it's
Lord.
relevant, but I think maybe, but I don't know. But so now we want to ask, if you were living the life of your dreams, you've reached the pinnacle of your personal greatness, how would that look and feel?
Okay, so there's an exercise in acting where you sit, you're living your dream,
Yeah.
and you sit in your chair and you truly live your dream. And living my dream would be right now where my family, right? My family is like totally at a level financially, right? They're set in their careers, they're loving their careers, they're doing everything that they desire to do, right? It's so living the dream for me is like making sure my family, my grandchildren, they're all well taken care of. They're pursuing their dreams, whatever that is, right? And so if they're pursuing their dreams and they're happy, then I know that my dream has come true. I'm living my dream. Living my dream is doing what I'm doing right now, even to a greater level. Like my true desire is that I've been believing God for is to have my own television series. Doesn't necessarily have to be my name, but I'm like doing a television series that lasts for like 6 seasons. And then because I stacked up my money, I stacked my money, and after that, I'm going to continue to act. But then again, I want to have enough money saved so I can do my own projects and write my own projects and get other people in. So I just think that to live my dream is always inclusive. I want to include people in my dreams. I want to make sure that my family's satisfied, and then that I really want to do my television series. So I want to do a comedy. I want to do a comedy television series where I don't know what that looks like. If I'm gonna be a grandma or a mom or a lawyer or a doctor or whatever, but it's gonna be comedy, and it's gonna be for sure like kind of like a single cam comedy, like The Office or The Loot, or Insecure or something, comedy, but not like, I don't think it's going to be like modern day or like a Modern Family where it's like multicam, really big comedy. It's going to be more single cam. It's going to be drier humor. Yeah, more the character driven, based on the relationships that they have. Not so much like multicam where it's based on the physicality of everything. It's not going to be like that. Not that type of comedy. More single cam comedy.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, it does.
We love The Office.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love The Office. So yeah, that's my dream. If I'm going to live my dream, that's it. Like being in my own television series where it's a single cam and it's just fun, having fun, laughing.
We can't wait to see it or be
know.
a part of it.
Yeah. Can't wait. I feel like it's coming though. I feel like I'm so close to my dream.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Being answered. Yeah.
So are you gonna write it first, or how are you gonna make it happen?
Well, I think I'm gonna audition for it, and it's gonna come like that. I don't think I'm gonna write it. I think someone else is gonna write it, and I'm either gonna audition for it and get it that way, or I'm gonna be offered the role because somebody's gonna say, you know what, I see you in this. I want you for this job. I'm like, hey, okay. That's how I usually get my jobs.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's probably going to be how I usually get my jobs. People usually offer me jobs, ones that I've gotten. I've auditioned for jobs too, but I think the majority of the ones that I've gotten have been, well, that's not true. Anyways, I don't know how it's going to go. Either way, it'd be fine with me.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. Awesome.
All right. Well, thank you very much for your time. We appreciate your time to spend with us to have a conversation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so
It's
much.
been awesome. Thank you.
It has been so wonderful, you guys. Thank you. I felt so free and so welcomed and so much at home. Thank you for all the awesome questions. Thank you for being amazing people. And best of luck with your podcast.
Thank you. And I also want to thank you for praying for me when I had to go first on that showcase. I did not know I didn't know I was gonna receive that from you, and I completely thank you for that. And I remember it to this day.
Oh, that's so sweet. You're so welcome. Yeah, I love it. God bless you guys. Thank you so much, Mike. It was nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you as well. Take care. All right, see you next time.
All right, you do the same. Goodbye. Love you guys.
Love you.